Hi, beautiful people. Reverend Teresa Ruby Garcia, and today I want to talk to you about two things that transform my life. One being Plato's Allegory of the cave. Now, Plato was a philosopher, and he created this allegory, this fake story to express what it was like being a philosopher in his time. Now, what it was like was, the story goes as this. There are three prisoners chained to a wall. And behind the wall is a high rise. And on the high rise, there's a fire. And there's people walking by and they're talking. However, the prisoners are chained to the wall. They can only face forward. So all they see are the shadows, okay? Now, eventually they develop a language, they develop games, and one of the games that they develop is Guess the Shadow, okay? And so one day, a man comes and frees one of the prisoners. And the prisoner, the first thing it does is look back, and it sees the fire. Now, as you can imagine, if you've been living a life in darkness, just like if you're sleeping and someone turns on the light, like it hurts your eyes a little bit, right? So the prisoner, wanted to turn back around. Well, this person that freed him pulled him, dragged him outside, and that prisoner got to see grass, the sun, birds, and flowers, the ocean, all for the first time. Amazed at the beauty that was right behind them, he went to go free his other prisoners, his friends. Well, the friends are playing a game, the matching game, right? Guess the Shadow. And even though he used to be the star of this game, his eyes have adjusted to the light. And he's trying to tell his people what he saw. However, they don't get it. They've never seen anything like it. And they think he's crazy. He must be crazy. And they vowed, if anyone tries to free me, I'll kill him because I don't want to be crazy like this guy, right? Well, fast forward to 1970s, and let's talk about the experiment that changed neuroscience forever. And it's called the kitty experiment, okay? And so what they did was they took these kitties and in these weird rooms where, one had stripes and vertical stripes and the other didn't. And I believe they were raised in darkness. But nevertheless, they were raised, and then when they were adult cats, they were set into regular rooms. This is where it gets crazy, y'all. Dun, dun, dun! Okay. Do you know that the kitties that were raised in the environment that did not have vertical stripes could not see chairs and anything vertical? So they were running into things constantly because it was not within their brain's ability to see. Why is this driving me crazy, y'all? Because it is a perfect example of what happens in adolescence and as to us as kids, right? Our environment shapes our belief and our brain about what's possible. We can have blessings in front of us, but if we were raised in a traumatic environment and that wasn't normal for us, our brain, our reticular ocular system won't even catch it. It won't even see it. Every single one of us are being flooded. We have blessings all around us. It's whether or not we can see it that determines whether we experience it. Now, this is mind-blowing, and now we have science catching up with metaphysics. And as a metaphysical reverend, this is amazing. And I can't believe this study happened in the 70s, and I just found out about it a couple days ago. But I knew as soon as I heard Plato's Allegory of the cave that my whole life was a lie. Why? Because at a very tender age, I was abused in every way possible. My whole childhood, I was hungry, I was depressed, I was neglected, I was sexually abused by more people than I can count, I was physically abused, and I hated myself. So of course, everything I lived was a lie because I didn't know the truth. The truth is that there is only love. And if we've never experienced that, we think that that's too woo-woo, that that's not possible for us. You know, I walk around, and I've been there, y'all. I have been in the place where joy felt outside like it was impossible for me to feel, right? I've been in the depths of hell, and I've ascended to the epitome of my vibration, embodying heaven on earth. And guess what? It's all a choice. Yes, things happen. I understand that. I've lost almost my whole family, mostly to suicide. And so things happen that will knock you off your Richter at times. However, our beliefs, our core beliefs, is what determines our resilience, our ability to bounce back. And so, you know, when you think about affirmations and these practices and denials that many people are thinking are dumb or not worth their time, it is actually the greatest investment in your life is to change your beliefs. And epigenetics, right? Bruce Lipton, the father of epigenetics, showed us also in the 70s, go figure, that you can take cells from the same sample and put them in different environments, and that cell in one environment will be an elbow, in another environment will be a liver cell, and what he determined was that our environment creates our DNA functioning. Well, that's crazy. So does that mean that we can turn off genes for dis-ease, for diabetes, for all these different kinds of things? Absolutely yes. Yes. Our genes are so powerful, and we have so much DNA coiled in us. So the more we create a positive, loving environment internally, the more we're going to see that externally. Okay? So, with that being said, I invite you to consider a few affirmations and look yourself in the eye when you say them. Do it while you're, getting ready in the morning. Affirm that, and you want to do it in a affirmative way. So, I am love. I am loved. I choose positivity. I am beautiful. It doesn't matter what you're calling in, right? I am abundant, right? And pick a few and say them for 21 days, because that repetition is what's going to really magnify and solidify and reprogram the subconscious mind. And you compare it if you're feeling lack, right? But you want to be abundant. You compare it with a denial that says, lack has no power over me, right? And that's the opposite of abundance, is a lack consciousness. So pair your affirmations with the denial of whatever worry has no power over me. I choose peace. I am peace, right? And so whatever you're affirming, deny the opposite's power over you. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because there's a lot of people out here, and this is so dangerous, that are spiritually bypassing. And we are not doing that. Spiritual bypassing means I have pain in my finger, and I'm going to program my mind to not feel that pain, that pain is an illusion. No, the pain is not an illusion. It's a messenger. Find out what the message is and choose wholeness instead, right? So we're not bypassing. That's really important. We are simply affirming our new reality and denying the power of certain emotions and frustrations over us. Because at the end of the day, we are not our emotions, right? And so I tell myself that frequently because I can be an emotional creature. I'm a Pisces, right? And so extra emotional. But the moment I give my emotions space, and the moment I disassociate and remember, I am not my emotions. My emotions are messengers only. They're messengers, right? And so I just love this because yes, you can hire someone like me to help you quantum leap, right? And take this charge, or you can do this on your own. And a lot of the times, I have coaches and mentors, but I do the work on my own, and I come to them with the big things, the big kahuna things that feel a little far out of my reach. Or I go to them with things that maybe are in my blinders that I'm unaware of. And so I'm getting a bigger perspective, because sometimes when things are too close to your face, it's hard to see. Okay, you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I had so much fun. I hope you learned something new. I hope I invite you to apply something that you've learned today, and let me know in the comments how awesomely it works out for you.